Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a two-stepping Tuesday. We got a lot of two-stepping to do. Got some Grizzlies basketball tonight. Only problem is it's the NBA Cup. Grizzlies are 0-6 in the NBA Cup. Never have won a game. They're on the road against the Mavericks tonight. They're only getting 3.5. You know we're going to take some bets. We're going to play some bets.
John, we won one game in the Cup.
Let me just tell you. One? Who?
Yep. It was last week.
Oh, did they win last week? I don't know if you know this. I was gone.
But
I
they
went
were
from Oxford to Arkansas, back to Memphis, to Oxford, back to Memphis. So, no, I didn't even pay attention. And the NBA Cup is hard to keep up. Who did they beat? One of those last, 5 wins? 6 wins? Grizzlies have been playing pretty good.
The Pels. It was the Pelicans.
Man, do you really count that?
Yeah, 120, 109.
Pelicans haven't been too good this year. Fat Zion is not that fat, but still ain't playing all that great.
So, I mean, a whopping one win. I don't think it changes the trajectory at all. You're still right.
They got to get things.
For what it's worth.
They got to get things going tonight. And by the way, just so you know, did you know that Pelicans are tied for the worst record in the West? That's how bad they've been this year. They're 4-18. Like, you got Brandon Ingram, you got Zion, they got business. They can't get going, but Grizzlies have won 6 straight, and tonight they play the Dallas Mavericks. And we're going to get into a little bit of NBA. You know what else happens tonight, don't you?
What else on this two-stepping Tuesday?
College football playoff rankings. And definitely going to discuss everything in there. I'm going to kind of walk you through what I think the College Football Playoff Committee is going to do. We know pretty much a guaranteed 9 spots. I'll explain how, why, who's going to get left out, who might get in, and all the good stuff with a little college football. Now, we also are going to talk a lot of NFL. I got my power rankings. I went all the way to 10 today. I usually do just the top 5. And the reason I did 10 is because, damn it, there's a lot of parity in the National Football League right now. The top 5 are easy. Go get the next 5 teams and try to figure that bad boy out. But we are going to learn a whole lot. And I just kind of realized something. You know that big bet that I made before the season on Baltimore under 10.5 wins?
Shame on you.
They are 8-4. 8-4. And man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm starting to believe I got a chance. That offense that was clicking like madmen, they can't beat any good teams. Like, where is Baltimore going to be? They were a juggernaut of an offense. Derrick Henry's been running like a madman. Running like a madman. No, what am I trying to think? Oh, that's armed robbery. Little 8-ball MJG for you. But let's look at this Baltimore team. They couldn't beat the Chiefs earlier in the regular season. They couldn't beat the Browns, which is pathetic. They lost to the Steelers and the Eagles. Remaining on their schedule are the Giants, who are hapless. So I'm going to give them a dub. But, man, playing the Steelers the week following on the 21st, the Texans right now, you got to say they're not playing great football, but they could come up and sneak you. And we know what the Browns can do because they already beat you once. And famous Jameis Winston.
How about him? That's how you backdoor cover, baby.
Man, but
that's how you backdoor cover.
Thank you for them pick sixes, baby. And from the 1-yard line, throwing an interception. And I don't think you understand the emotion of that game for me. I had one of the best Sundays I've had. Not the best, but one of the top 3 Sundays this season. And last night, remember, I went under 42.5. I had the deadgum Denver Broncos -6.5. I almost gave up on the -6.5. Early in that game, I realized this thing ain't going under. So I ended up even going over like 49.5. So at least I covered 1 or 2 bets. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting there breaking even, trying not to lose, keeping my fingers crossed, willing the Denver Broncos to get things done. But I was freaking out because guess what? Famous Jameis Winston, who is one of my favorite players in the entire world, period. Not that he's the best, but he's cool. He's funny. He wears God on his sleeve. I love that. I love that. He asked last night. He told all the press corps in the world that he's going to ask, the Lord to help him not throw so many interceptions.
To wipe away his interception sins.
Wipe away your interception sins. God, I love this
He's talking
man.
to touchdown Jesus.
Touchdown Jesus. Big guns upstairs, baby. But Jameis Winston does have a gun. He threw for 497 yards. They scored 32 points. That's the most points the Browns have scored all season long. Yet 2 pick sixes. Almost a third one at the end of the game that sealed it for the Broncos to get one crazy, crazy cover. 41-32. Holy moly. That was a interesting game. I definitely did not expect 73 points scored last night. Not before the game started. But dadgummit, Denver can move the football. And famous Jameis Winston was picking apart that secondary until they picked him and went 6. I still can't believe we covered that. That was
one of the, everybody was kind of holding on. And he got to the 1 yard line. I'm like, Nick Chubb, no cover. Here we go.
So one of my buddies, he took the Browns last night plus 6.5. When they called the pass interference call, he did the Cardinal sign. He texted me, I told you. After he threw the interception, you know what I texted him?
I told you. What'd you get him?
I told him, don't jinx yourself, fool. And
Correct.
Thank you for jinxing the dead-gum Browns and famous Jameis Winston because that was a beautiful cover because it felt like it came out of nowhere. I was praying for a fumble or an interception.
I didn't know how we were going to get it.
I
had
didn't
no
think
idea.
we were going to
I
get
thought
it.
Chubb, there you go. Once you hand it off Chubb, that's it. Back door.
Chubby Time didn't even play that much last night. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I noticed it.
That was
somebody else was in the backfield.
26 consecutive plays where he was on the sideline last night. Yeah, are you talking about the other little running back?
Yeah, the other
They
running
kept
back.
giving it to my little man Ford.
Yeah, little Ford. That's probably why he didn't run the ball. They had Ford. But you don't give Jameis an opportunity to throw a third interception. You know better, Stefanski.
Jerome Ford, 9 carries, 41 yards. Nick Chubb, 9 carries, 21 yards. So I guess you could say an equal use of them. Didn't run the ball very much, but I guess because they were backing up and throwing it, you thought maybe Ford was better coming out of the backfield. But I don't know if you know this. Nick Chubb caught 2 big passes out of the backfield for first downs last night. He had 2 receptions, 24 yards. But the Browns and Kevin Stefanski, I can't blame this on Kevin Stefanski. Like, that he's won Coach of the Year. You know that, right?
Yeah, he got what's his name down there in Tampa Bay to the playoffs.
Man, he got Baker
Lil
Mayfield,
Baker
baby.
to the playoffs.
He also got there last year with Joe freaking Flacco, which is also a miracle in itself. But when I'm talking about it, Kevin Stefanski can't be blamed for the Browns is because Deshaun Watson is just a horrible human being. And while he was a great college quarterback at Clemson, and he was one hell of a quarterback when he came out those first couple years in Texans, he was right there with Pat Mahomes and all them boys. And then we know what happened in the playoff game. He got out to 21-point lead. Texans fell apart. Pat Mahomes, legend, continued to grow. Just started to grow really at that time. And ever since then, my man's just taken little bitty loincloths and tried to get that third leg massage for the last, 2 off seasons, figuring himself out, paying people a whole bunch of money. But listen to Deshaun Watson. This is insane when you think about how much money. $231 million guaranteed. The Browns with Deshaun Watson are 1-6 on the season. Average 15 points per game with Deshaun Watson under center. He only averaged 160 yards in those 7 games. And total team offense was down to 254. Famous Jameis Winston now, his record has now fallen to 2-3. But let's just be real. Cleveland's been playing much better. They're averaging now over 20 points a game. Actually, 22 points a game, which is up a whole touchdown over my buddy Deshaun Watson. passing yards per game with Jameis Winston. What do you think it is? His were 160. Just take a wild guess.
200.
Man, Jameis,
Yeah.
he's averaging over 305 yards a game.
What?
Yep. And the team total yards per game, 380.
That's one thing you
That's
can say.
130 more yards a game of offense with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, when he plays, he gives both teams a chance, baby.
He does. But, man, I'm telling you right now, if he can just find a coordinator who can work with him and keep him to, as I heard somebody saying this a long time ago, quarterbacks, when you have the ball in your hand and you drop back to pass, you don't just have your life. You have the whole team, the whole organization, and everybody's life. So you got to protect the ball with your life.
That's why he prayed to God. I guess he should have.
Man, you know what? Keep it up, Jameis. But let's just also be real, man. This is Jameis Winston who beat the Chargers. Lost to the Chargers. They lost to the Saints, and they lost to the Broncos. But they beat the Ravens, and last week they beat the Steelers. Much better quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do with Deshaun Watson.
You pull a
Daniel Jones, New
yeah,
York.
Jones as well as Denver with Russ.
Do
You
you
go
think?
ahead
I was
and
going
eat
to
it.
say, like right now,
Yeah,
they're
you
going
go
to
ahead
have
and eat it.
They're going to have to go bigger cojones than New York Giants did because there's more guaranteed money going to my man Deshaun Watson.
That cap hit is going to be huge.
I mean, Deshaun Watson's going to end up getting like $230 million for like 3 wins.
for doing nothing.
For nada. Well, I can tell you one thing. When he does retire, he'll be able to go and get a lot of massages.
He can buy his own gold jacket then.
Yeah, he can.
A real gold jacket.
And then the other thing that was crazy, I didn't realize this. Did you know the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos have the most consecutive games without a 100-yard rusher? Broncos are at 29 games. The Browns are at 19. Before Rico, and I'm not talking about Rico from Napoleon Dynamite, I'm talking for the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys had a 25-game streak snapped on Thursday as Rico went off. Uncle Rico. Did you ever watch that movie?
Come on, man. That is the best movie ever.
It's hilarious.
Come on, man.
It was
Uncle
so
Rico.
dumb when it came out,
So
but it was
dumb.
so funny. And if you eat a few edibles,
But when you
and
watched
get
it
a little
that second
lettuce,
and third time, baby,
and
that's
you're
what
just
you got.
laughing. And Uncle Rico was hilarious. But man, I'm telling you right now, if you look right now at the NFL standings, where teams are, what's going on, we got a whole lot of craziness coming up here very, very shortly. We look off the playoff picture. It's pretty simple. Over in the AFC, you know Kansas City and Buffalo are already in. Pittsburgh at 9-3 is gonna get in. The Texans at 8-5 in that terrible AFC South gonna get in. And then right now the Chargers look like they're creeping up in that bad boy. The Baltimore Ravens are now in the wild card. And so are the Denver Broncos at 8-5. Still in the hunt, I guess you could say, is the Colts at 6-7. But that's it. They'd have to win out to even have a chance. And Denver would have to fall absolutely apart. That's the AFC playoff picture. And we're going to break down a lot of the NFC, AFC at 12 o'clock. I'll give my power rankings. We'll talk a little bit deeper up in that subject. But I do want to remind you what a game we have. Where are you going to rank the Packers? Where are you going to rank the Lions? Are the Lions the best team in football? They're 11-1. Packers 9-3. But boy, the Packers look pretty good lately. Detroit at home on the Prime Video Thursday night football game. It is in Detroit. It is inside. And the Packers are going on the road on a short week. Detroit minus 3.5, total 51. So we're definitely, that game's got huge implications. The Browns, can famous Jameis go up there and snub the Steelers? Pittsburgh's a 6.5 point favorite. They've been playing great football. It's Mike Tomlin just does Mike Tomlin things. I mean, Russ, we talked about Jameis throwing for 497 yards last night. I still can't believe that the Steelers went out and had one of the most explosive games of the season against the Bengals. Joey B was doing everything to stay in that game. Their defense did not look good. As good as the Steelers' defense is, it took Pittsburgh to score 17 second-half points to come away with a 6-point victory. It was crazy. But again, Joey B throws 3 touchdowns and for 309. But Russell Wilson Ridiculous 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Najee got his business going. And it's George Pickens. George Pickens got that stupid penalty for putting his 2 fingers in the air and acting like it was a gun, 15-yard penalty that could have cost the Steelers. Ended up not. But, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. George Pickens out of Georgia, you know his daddy is, right?
Who's that?
Carl Pickens.
Oh,
That's his. George Pickens is Carl's little boy.
I never knew that one.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That's why the hands are solid.
Yeah, that's why he's got that huge frame, goes up and high points the ball. But I will tell you how much, like, when you watched Justin Fields play offense with this team, yes, they still won football games, but they weren't getting my man George Pickens involved. Not even close to the way Russ Ridiculous is, because he throws one of the prettiest moon balls on planet Earth. Like, dude's just flat out ridiculous. And I'm scared of that Steelers team. Defense, they can run. They got Mike Tomlin. And remember, Russ has been to 2 Super Bowls, winning 1. We all remember that stupid call by Pete Carroll. Let's not give it to Marshawn Lynch from the 1-yard line, and let's throw a slant. And let's get that sucker picked. And I was crying that night because guess what?
Yeah, it's I'm on it.
Oh, yeah. The other side, baby. Patriots. That pick was beautiful. Just, my goodness, jumps in front.
Hey, and looking at it, guess what Mike Tomlin has already clinched? Another non-losing season with that 9th win.
Man, again, how many seasons is this now?
Oh,
He's
crap.
the longest tenured coach in the National Football League. He's a baller shot caller. He might be, outside of Jameis Winston, as my favorite player at the podium or just talking. And again, I think Jameis Winston will be the next great broadcaster in the National Football League. Like, screw Tom Brady. And the other thing about Tom Brady is, why are you always out on your boat by yourself? You ain't got no friends, Holmes. Have you seen some of that? Like, he goes fishing by himself. Bro, I would have 6'10s on the boat with me, baiting my pole. I would make sure that they got the hook out their mouth. And that I'm out there, if I'm on that boat, I'm fighting fish all day. You know what I'm saying? But now Tom's out there. I love you, Giselle. But again, Jameis is going to be one of the most baller shot caller, I think. I'm telling you, man, he's going to be John Madden-esque.
All right, I got that number for you for Tomlin. So it's 21 straight non-losing
Damn.
seasons for the Steelers. So that includes
Golly,
three years of Cowher. That's Cowher's last 3 years, and 18 of those have been Tomlin's. So Steelers been balling, shot calling well before Tomlin, as the Steelers know.
Well, every one of their coaches gotten a ring.
Yep, but 18 straight years of a non-losing season. I know that doesn't, supposed to tickle your fancy, but when you're
yes, tickle my fancy. Tickle it.
When you got a team and, you have expectations, at least they are meeting the floor. That's all you want.
Now we also, this week in football, I'm excited for so many damn games. Monday night, you get the Bengals and the Cowboys, and 2 teams that were expected to do something that haven't done anything. Joe Burrow's been playing great. I don't trust Cooper Rush. I love Cincinnati minus 5.5. Then Sunday night, you got the Chargers and the Chiefs. And the Chargers keep, Ladd McConkey, bad news, man. Jim Harbaugh did not sound very good yesterday when he was talking about Ladd McConkey's injury. And Jim Harbaugh basically wears his life on the sleeve. So you got to feel that you won't see Ladd. He's banged up. And the Chargers just don't have tons of weapons. Ladd McConkey's been out of Georgia, their best wide receiver this young season. The Chiefs, though, just keep winning. It looks so easy taking the Chiefs minus 3.5, but they never beat the brakes off of anybody. It's got to figure out who are the Chiefs. Bills go on the road to face a desperate Rams team. It's going to be out there at SoFi Stadium, which is dope. Ridiculous out there in Inglewood, California. That is a ridiculous stadium. Can Josh Allen go on the road and beat Matt Stafford? Probably. But Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and when Matt Stafford is dealing, they are tough. And that defensive line for the Rams has gotten so much better. That young front four, if they can keep a little pressure on Josh Allen, force him to stay up in the pocket, push the ball down the field, which he's actually really good at, they might have a chance. And the other one that I'm really excited about is the Seahawks and the Cardinals. I love this Cardinals team because I've fallen in love with Kyler Murray. I like Geno. I mean, my man's thrown for 3,200 yards already, Geno Smith. The only problem is he only has 13 touchdowns to 12 interceptions with 3,200 yards on the season.
Got paid, baby.
He did get paid. But they are some damn good road warriors. They're 4-1. That would be Seattle on the road. Cardinals are 4-2 at home. And they had one hell of a fight last week against Minnesota. I mean, it was a great game. Vikings pulled it out their keister, 23-22. But, man, it's just, I just love Kyler. Like, nobody does it like Kyler. He has a hose. He can run. I think he's probably faster than even Lamar Jackson.
Once he gets those wheels turning.
Man, let me tell you something. When he threw the deuces 60 yards from the end zone before he crossed the line of scrimmage, that's when I know, oh, damn, this man is fast.
Yeah, he did.
Nobody even came close to touching him.
He did that at Levi Stadium. Yeah.
It was, oh, gosh, I'm sorry. We'll talk about your 49ers team.
No need to. No need to.
Yeah, we're going to talk about one thing. What are they going to do?
Man, I don't know.
I mean, the injuries right now are mounting for the 49ers.
Double whammy.
Trent Williams had the most heart-wrenching news. Did you see that?
No, you got some on Trent?
Oh, God.
I saw my running backs
It's
yesterday.
so
They
sad.
just.
It was, one, you know, Trent Williams is getting older and he's a little banged up. You could say he's a lot banged up. But, man, the other day, Trent and his wife, Sandra, they announced that their newborn son, Trent O'Brien Williams Jr., passed away.
Oh.
Just heart. I can't even imagine.
So that's twice for the team. I forget who that was. Child passed a couple of weeks ago, too.
Yeah, don't forget, Ricky Pearsall got shot in the chest
And
this year.
Pearsall got shot this year.
Christian McCaffrey don't look like running CMC.
Oh, let's keep it going. IU got the bag, but out for the season.
Hey, blew out that knee, man. And then Debo Samuels got paid finally. And guess what Debo does?
Yeah.
Whatever the hell Debo wants. Because he's walked out of a couple games with no injury and, like, gone and just chilled on the sideline.
And Mufanga, the so-called savior safety, is supposed to look like Palomalu, who hadn't been on the field.
Man, they got a lot of stuff going over there. They got a lot
Lenore
of
gets
issues.
paid. He gets hurt. Just pile it on.
But I will say, John Lynch has done a hell of a job at least assembling a lot of talent. You still have Mike Shanahan there.
Blow it
Kyle Shanahan. Damn, I went to Mike.
No, Mike has an office there. That's what I tell people.
Wait, Mike has an office?
Mike has always had an office there. Yes, Mike Shanahan has an office in the San Francisco organization. He's very relevant. I think a lot of those calls are Mike Shanahan's.
Mike Shanahan used to have the worst fake tan ever.
He
was so
He was
orange.
orange. He was the first
he
orange
matched
guy.
Denver. He was
Yep.
the first.
He was
the first orange guy.
He was.
And now we got what? Trump's orange. Who else did I come up with the other day that's had it such a bad tan they looked orange?
That was Aaron Rodgers doppelganger guy you were talking about.
Oh, Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, Sirianni. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, Mike Shanahan. I believe a lot of that, like 70 to 80% of that offense is still Mike Shanahan. He's just too old to, do the daily deal, but he's running it vicariously through his son.
Well, we've got a lot of NFL talk to get to today. I haven't even touched on the NFC really and the playoff pictures and the games that matter and health of certain teams. At 12 o'clock, I'm going to do all the rankings. 10 rankings. Power 10 in National Football League. But on the other side, I got to clear up this picture, bro. College Football Playoff Committee comes out tonight. Who are they going to pick? Where is everybody going to fall? Well, I'll explain to you, and I know South Carolina and Ole Miss fans are probably not going to like me. Just remember, I'm sorry, I don't love Gamecock, but I do love the Rebels. I do love them. But I'm not feeling very good.
Uh-oh.
College football playoff talk on the other side. Sports 56, 98, 5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Sports 56.
Let me guess, you're going to recommend that everyone get their holiday meal from Central Barbecue.
No, although it's a great idea, get everybody some fantastic Central Barbecue and not have to do any of the work, but that is not what this spot is about.
It's not?
No, this is about another way Central Barbecue can save you time and trouble.
Ah, Central Barbecue gift cards.
That's right. You don't have to fight the holiday gift shoppers when you could just go online and order up a handful of Central Barbecue gift cards.
No one has ever turned up their nose at getting the best barbecue in Memphis.
In the world.
In the world for free.
Make this the most affordable Christmas. Genesis Diamonds is here to help with your dazzling selection. And she's going to absolutely love that diamond tennis bracelet or stunning designer necklace this year. Love seeing that look in her eyes. Genesis showcases her 4-star closets as well as fashion jewelry from world-class designers, unique handcrafted items you can't find anywhere else. And this year, Genesis is featuring their largest ever selection of luxury premium Rolex watches. And guys, relax. Genesis not gonna shut you. Find your respecting your price range, and whatever you choose, you can divide the price by 60 and get your super low gift. So, gift that sends the message of love like nothing else. A beautiful piece of jewelry from Genesis. Their best around directions, finance details, and GenesisDiamonds.com.
It's a holiday experience like no other. The Light Garden at Olive Branch City Park. It's a walk-through entertainment extravaganza with hundreds of giant 3D Christmas-like displays, photos with Santa, food and drinks, and special events including fireworks on New Year's Eve. New this year is a winter-inspired 18-hole miniature golf course. Bring the family out nightly through January 1st. Go to lightgarden.online for details and to buy tickets. Now stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM for chances to win tickets to go see the Light Garden.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a little two-stepping Tuesday. You know how I like to two-step, don't you?
Of course, sir.
Tito's, baby. When life hands you lemons, don't freak out, don't fret, don't stress. Just make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with the best, and that's Tito's handmade vodka. Do you know it's USA vodka?
Oh, of course, it's not the Russian vodka.
It is not commie vodka. It is not Putin vodka.
Little Drago action.
I will tell you, though, Tito Beverage, I met him, got to talk to him, super nice guy. I'm like, yo, Tito, bro, how'd you come up with this one great
So his
recipe?
name is actually Tito?
Oh, yeah, Tito Beverage. By
What?
the way, his name is Tito Beverage.
That's his name.
Real deal Holyfield. And he made the best vodka in the whole wide world. 6 times distilled. They still it in classic copper pots, old school method in small batches. And then once they pull that bad boy out, it's the finest juice around. There's no frills. There's no flavors. There's no fancy labels. There's just the good stuff, and it's Tito's. But the one thing I was going to tell you about Tito's, seriously, he was like, man, when I was growing up, I was a Rocky fan. And I was like, yeah, me too, bro. And he's like, when I watched Rocky knock out Drago, I knew at that moment in my life, we ain't drinking no more potato vodka from Russian that's full of gluten. So he started making it right here in the United States, down in Austin, Texas. The rest is history, baby. Now the best vodka in the world is simple. It's Tito's. Now the best college football team on planet Earth. Damn, that's a great question.
I think the best team right now is the simple one. It's 2 through whatever you're going to go is the hard part.
I mean, I'm just saying Oregon, they came that close from slip before they slipped because they slipped into Boise State. They Jedi mind tricked Ohio State with Dan Lanning's amazing 12th man on the field. That the very next day, the NCAA made that rule illegal. Like he's pulled everything out of his bag. And I will say, but there's still tons of chaos out there. You can look around, and of course, everybody's going to sit there and say, well, there's some very, very simple things that you have to believe. Like Oregon, they have locked up a college football berth. Win or lose against Penn State.
Absolutely.
Penn State, I believe, has locked one up as well. You know Texas at 11-1 in the SEC, playing in the SEC championship game. They have locked that Jun up. Georgia, by the way. Georgia. I feel they are all but in. Then Notre Dame, you know, is getting in. Their season's over. They ain't playing the college football championship. Tennessee sitting there. They are definitely in. Ohio State is definitely in. So what do we got to figure out? We got to figure out, is now 9-3 Alabama got to hope to reach the college football playoff? Well, tonight we are going to find out with some of the rankings, and let me give you a few caveats. The top 4 conference champs. Remember, that's the crazy thing about they get a bye. And I've also discussed, I don't know if the bye is necessarily that big of a deal. Because if you win, you're playing an extra game than everybody else that's going to get in.
Correct.
The bye is going to help you get a little bit healthy. But it's that conference championship game, the loser that's going to play in the first round. And while Georgia, if they lose that, will probably bring an extra $15 million to their school because they'll probably host one, I think they would rather have that bye.
I think all teams this time of year want that bye.
Just a little bit of time. So, what do we feel good about? SEC champ runner-up, they're Dunks. You have Big Ten champs and runner-up, Dunks. Notre Dame is set and locked and loaded. Penn State, they're going to get in. Tennessee is in, people. The Ohio State and Indiana, in my view, are all in. So, right there, that's 8 that you feel really set, okay? Those are 8 teams that I feel 100% confident they're going to be there. You know the ACC is going to get a champion. SMU, who's at number 8, or number 18, Clemson. If Dabo Swinney pulls this out of his keister, he better reach out to Kyle McCord and say, thank you, Syracuse. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Big 12 champs, they're going to get in. Arizona State or Iowa State, I think the loser's out. The Mountain West front runner, Boise State, number 10 in the polls, are almost assuredly going to get a bye and a top 4 seed if they do beat UNLV. And according to the AP rankings, even if UNLV wins, they're at number 19, they still could possibly get a first-round bye. So UNLV, Boise State, that is no joke. So that's 11 spots accounted for. And in truth, that leaves the last spot between Alabama, South Carolina, and Clemson. Now I'm going to tell you, Lane Kiffin went out there and put a ton of information out, talked to the media, told you everything about why it is that he believes that Ole Miss should get in over Alabama and South Carolina. And the easy one for me, just to go ahead and knock it out, I'm sorry, South Carolina, you got your brains beat out at your house by Ole Miss. Doesn't head-to-head, like that's got to matter, right? Got to matter.
Definitely.
If it didn't matter, then why the hell are we playing the games?
Shout out Jay Crane.
Thank you, Jake. I still disagree with why he believes Alabama should get in over Ole Miss.
And that Travis Hunter is
He's going to win it, but again, he's a 7 and a 5.
There you go. All I wanted you to do was move off the 5. I love you now. Now I love you.
He's a 7
Get off
and a
that 5, man. Get off that 5, man.
Now, would you take a 7 and a 5 over 110? That's the question. Now you got 12.
No, you got 12.
But after all the chaos that happened, I mean, like, with what happened last week, I mean, like Alabama losing to Oklahoma, Ole Miss not getting it done against Florida, South Carolina has now become a juggernaut. But South Carolina, just remember this. They lost to both of them. They lost to Alabama and Ole Miss. So why are we still talking about South Carolina getting the college football playoff over them? They are all sitting there with the same damn number of wins. Ole Miss has 9 wins, outscoring their opponent 390 to 94. If you don't know, that's plus 296. Alabama, 9 wins, outscoring their opponent 371 to 119. That's plus 252. In the 3 losses, Ole Miss was outscored 73 to 60. They were only 13 points. 13. In the 3 losses, Alabama was outscored 88-55. That's negative 33. Common opponents, both Alabama and the Rebels beat Georgia. Rebs won by 18, Bama won by 7, and barely held on. Ryan Williams, you saved Kalen DeBoer's first year.
Absolutely did.
I mean, that is just crazy. Now, common opponents again. Both beat Georgia. Both beat South Carolina. The Rebs won by 24. Bama only won by 2 against South Carolina. Alabama beat LSU by 29. Going to give them credit. Ole Miss lost at night in Death Valley by 3 in overtime.
Bama played at night too, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think that was Saturday night too.
I don't think they were. I thought they were at home, weren't they? I thought Alabama had LSU at home. Maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, hey, my memory always fails me. Alabama, again, beat LSU, but this is the one. Ole Miss beat Oklahoma by 12. Alabama lost by 21 in Norman for their only SEC win.
Bama was in Death Valley.
It was in Death Valley, too. That was after the Ole Miss game then.
Yep.
Because they got their big win, shot their load, and then quit playing for Brian Kelly.
Yep, because I took LSU big on that one, and Bama rolled Tide.
So if you heard everything that I was saying, hit me up at the Sissy's Log Cabin, text in listener line 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Life's too short for ordinary jewelry. Let me know who you think should get in after all the information I gave you. South Carolina head-to-head lost both to Alabama and Ole Miss. I don't think they're in. Are they playing great football this month? They haven't lost a game in November. Congratulations. Shane Beamer, you're building something. I mean, I didn't think you could coach like your daddy. Who knows? You might pass your daddy. Got a long way to go. But you got the Gamecocks. The only time I can remember them being this basically.
You're right, formidable. You're right.
Yeah, but I didn't. It sounds disrespectful.
It's not. It's not. Because it's South Carolina. No one believed in them. No one believed in them this year.
In November, they look like world beaters. Shane Beamer is building something. But they just can't get in because, again, Alabama and Ole Miss, all three have the same record, and you lost to both of those teams.
No, them fans think they can get in, too.
So, personally, in my opinion, if you looked at this, the fact that Ole Miss lost 3 games by 13 points, Alabama lost by 33. You look at their common opponents, both beat Georgia. Rebs won by 18, Bama by 7. Both beat South Carolina, Rebs by 24, Alabama only by 2. And again, Ole Miss beat Oklahoma. Alabama lost to Oklahoma by 21. So to me, clearly, Ole Miss should be in the playoff over Alabama. But the problem is Alabama is a much bigger brand.
You think they are going to weigh that heavily, right?
Hell yeah. The College Football Playoff Committee, I don't even know what they talk about half the time in there. Like, there's been no rhyme or reason for some of the stuff they've done. But I will say, man, I mean, tell me, am I crazy? Is Alabama... And this does feel like dirty of me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Go for it.
It's like trying to convince. No, because they ain't my ex-wife. I love Ole Miss. It's like if it's trying to convince like my little brother to another woman. Oh man, look how fine he is. You should go out with him over me, man. We know that's not true.
You're nuts.
But I really do. Tell me, I mean, what do you think, Darian? After I said all that, do you everybody's projection has Alabama getting in? Only
because of the brand. And the way you broke it down, you're absolutely right. Ole Miss should have the best and only chance to get in. But they're going. But you know what? Saban's not there. So I know the brand, but, I mean, they would have a hell of a better chance if Saban was behind the curtain. But he's not. It's Kalen DeBoer. Not sure if he's earned that much, equity yet. But who knows? But that would be great TV if they ever wanted to.
I mean, the Gamecocks, though, losing head-to-head. But even, let's just say that they're looking at all three. They're not going to pick South Carolina Gamecocks.
Nope, just because of what you said, head-to-head. Nope.
But also, they're not going to pick them over the Ole Miss Rebels or the dadgum Alabama Crimson Tide because, damn it, Ole Miss is still a bigger brand than South Carolina.
Correct, yeah. South Carolina has no chance. They're third on their totem pole. Welcome to the Gator Bowl.
And if you're smart, by the way, College Football Playoff Committee, if you want to see some hotties, have Ole Miss in that tournament. They travel, and they beautiful.
Yeah, the boots.
White
boots. Out. There you
go.
Boots,
baby, boots. If you want some white boots, by the way, it's Christmas time. Yeah, it's right around the corner. It's December what? Oh, damn, it's December 3rd. I got to pay all my bills today. Damn. The worst day of the month is always the 3rd. Is that when all yours are due, or are they earlier?
Right around the 1st, yeah. I got a lot of stuff out of the way. I got Disney World coming up, so I'm ready for them boots.
Man, you better go sell a kidney, son. Disney's
already
so
did.
Good job.
Plasma, kidneys, kids. Hell, I'm going by myself. Sell the kids.
But for your kids this year, if you want to find something great, go down to Frontier Western Store. They have a beautiful kids section. They have a ladies boutique that is just fashionable. Me and Chash like to go down to Olive Branch, get her because she likes to look cute. She likes to wear little boots. She has to have a matching little outfit with her girlfriend Christina because they go down there and it's how it is. You know how it is.
Absolutely.
But you're not going to Oxford anymore for football. We already know that. But if you are getting ready to take care of your family, your friends, and your loved ones, check out 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch, or you can shop online at frontierwesternstore.com. It's easy to navigate. Shop by men's, women's, kids, sales items, brands. Easy to navigate, but cool is once you place your order, bing, bang, boom, they ship their order out within 24 hours so it'll arrive to you before the big day. So Frontier Western Store and frontierwesternstore.com. We've been talking a little bit of college football today.
Broke it down very well.
It makes sense, right?
Absolutely. You see the text line
I
blowing
hadn't even
up.
got a chance.
I mean,
because I
they
don't know
are
if you
just.
know this. I'm agitated over here. I cannot
Man.
get my damn text screen to open.
These texters are just. I mean, as you were going, they were coming in, dude.
Dude, that's what I like to hear.
It's money time, for lack of a better word. So I mean, coming to the end of the road, either you're in or out. So the out teams, they would love for the playoff to expand in a couple of years. Then we'll be talking about teams 20th and 21st and all that stuff.
Oh, by the way, I also have this is something that I wanted to ask you if you even care about. Like, is it even worth ESPN? I don't know if it was yesterday or maybe it was Sunday. Today is Tuesday, right? It was either Sunday or Monday. They put out all their college football projections, the college football playoff, and then all the other bowl games. And I love gambling, but I just feel like how I say don't bet on the NBA before Christmas Day?
Yeah.
I feel like you can't bet on any college
The bowls anymore?
the bowls anymore.
Oh, no, of course not. You don't know who's playing all the way up to game time. End of discussion.
It's
like
just
I
danger.
I like what you kind of put on me because I despise it because I'm in Mississippi. But if you're gonna do the bowls, live betting is the way. Like if you really want to do it, just hold your horses, wait till the game kicks off, get a feel for the game, like you said, and go for it. But if you're thinking star quarterback is gonna play, you don't know.
One texter came in, and I do get this. Feels like Bama killing LSU at LSU and Ole Miss losing at LSU could be the difference. And yes, Ole Miss has a bad loss to Kentucky, but Alabama has a terrible loss to Oklahoma.
Bad. 3 points bad, man.
And by the way, did you hear what Brent Venables did today?
I don't know what he's up to.
Well, he's always up to something, I can tell you that much. And he came out and said that he's going with a young buck, like a young fella. He's hired a 28-year-old kid I've never heard of to be his offensive coordinator. I'll give you his name because I wasn't expecting to bring this up. I do have it in my notes, and I just realized I might be the dumbest person on planet Earth. Can't work my computer. Don't know how to work my phone. I can drive a car. And I can roll a joint really good.
You like that word, junt.
It's one of my favorite words in the world. But I can roll one with one hand, left-handed, straight up. Not that you should ever do this, but if you're in an emergency and say that you happen to be driving and the only thing that was going to save the earth was a junt and you had to be at a specific location, I could fly and roll with my left hand, baby.
Gives new meaning to left-handed junt.
Yeah, left-handed cigarette, man. But, God, how did I get off on that? Who knows? But on the other side, I'm going to tell you about what Brett Venables doing, how bad things are actually at Oklahoma. And are they going to turn into Nebraska? You remember when
That's ugly.
Nebraska left? They were on top of the world, man. You had Scott Frost, you had Tommy Frazier.
Come on, man. Lawrence
Man,
Phillips, man.
Lawrence
Those were my guys.
Man, that dude is scary, dude.
Coach Bill Walsh,
Lawrence
baby.
Phillips is one of the craziest dudes that ever set foot
That
on a
was my
college campus.
guy. I know. That was my guy.
Man, what did he crawl up in the second floor, beat the tar out of it, and threw the dude off the second floor balcony?
He was a bully, to say the least.
He was a bully, but he could run. I guess you want somebody mean, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So on the other side, I'll tell you a little bit about Brett Venable. What else we got to look in college football playoff? Don't forget 12 o'clock. We're going deep in the NFL. 12:30, I got Hardwood because it just feels so good. And then we got to come back with some bets. And you're looking around, you're saying, John, what on Tuesday night are we going to bet on, John? Well, I'll tell you a new secret. College basketball, if you just kind of scan college hoops, last night I'm scanning. I'm sitting there chilling, wondering what's going on in the world. And my Denver bet and my under did not look good. So what do? Well, you bet some weird basketball on a Monday night because you look over there and you see that Nevada, who was playing Washington State. And by the way, Nevada was an 11.5-point favorite. You look over there and they're down 32-22 at the half. The total was 148. At halftime, they dropped the total to 142 with 54 points scored in the game. Guess what happened?
Over.
It got under, buddy.
What?
Oh, yes, sir, Bob, it got under. I was fired up. And it felt so easy. Like, it felt so easy because you're sitting there looking at this going, wait a second. Washington State and Nevada, the original total, can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, yeah, I got under 37, and they scored 125 points. So that's one, you know what I mean? If you think somebody who scores 52 points in the first half is going to come out there and just start lighting it up? Didn't happen. That was an easy one to steal. But we got college basketball on tonight.
Oh, it's a lot after. Yeah, you got a lot of games.
And we have the NBA Cup play. I don't like to bet on the NBA before Christmas Day, but there are some games that might be of worthy note. But Tennessee Vols, 18.5-point favorite over Syracuse at the crib. Kind of looking at that one sideways. What about Michigan? 6-1, playing in Wisconsin. Wisconsin 3.5-point favorite. They're 6-0 in the Big Ten. Wisconsin's all the way up to 11th this year. Cincinnati on the road against Villanova, 3.5-point favorite. That's at 5:30 on FS1. So we got stuff to bet on, including Ole Miss and Louisville. You can also hear that action beginning at 7:30 tonight as the Rebs play the Cardinals. Louisville's a 3.5-point favorite over Chris Beard's team. That might be one I'm looking at. But we're going to talk bets, NFL, and funny stories on the other side. Don't you dare touch the dial. This is Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let me guess, you're going to recommend that everyone get their holiday meal from Central Barbecue.
No, although it's a great idea, get everybody some fantastic Central Barbecue and not have to do any of the work, but that is not what this spot is about.
It's not?
No, this is about another way Central Barbecue can save you time and trouble.
Ah, Central Barbecue gift cards.
That's right. You don't have to fight the holiday gift shoppers when you can just go online and order up a handful of Central Barbecue gift cards.
No one has ever turned up their nose at getting the best barbecue in Memphis.
In the world.
In the world for free.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now back to
56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. And guess what, man? Did you see where the Tigers were?
In the AP?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, getting a little respect coming out of Maui. Wow.
Put some respect on the Tigers' name. They're all the way up at 16 in the country.
Very good. A lot of people thought they should have been higher.
In football, they're at 25. Only 7 teams have basketball and football teams ranked.
Ooh, watch this, and I got you one better. Only one team has both in the top 10.
Let me think. Hold on. That's got to be Tennessee.
There it is, baby.
It's got to be, right?
Absolutely.
Tennessee's the top 5 team.
There
They're
you
number
go.
4 right now, I
Come,
think.
Come on.
And then, of course, they're number 7,
Come
I
on.
think, in the rankings. So,
They're 4 in the AP.
damn, Vols. And don't forget, they won the
No,
College
listen.
World Series.
3. They're 3. Kentucky's 4. They're 3 in the
Oh, they're
men's
3.
basketball. Yep, they're 3.
Oh, the Pope plays tonight, too, by the way. Who does Kentucky play tonight? Because I looked at that
Kentucky
game. And
got
they were only a
Clemson.
1.5 point favorite. They must be on the road.
This is the SEC ACC Challenge.
Oh, you know, and I went through that yesterday for you. Was telling you
Yep.
all the wonderful things about the SEC ACC Challenge, which
Shout
is going to
out
be a lot
Tennessee.
of fun. But I needed to bring up something about our Memphis Tiger basketball team, who's now in the AP
Love them.
at 16. And I'm going to tell you, Penny has to be feeling himself right now.
Penn.
Missed out on the NCAA tournament last year. It was terrible. They finished 22-10, but they often played down to trash opponents. They play up for good ones, and then they fell apart down the damn stretch. Well, Penny had an excuse. Do you know what he said yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
He said we had so many guys who complained about so frickin' much. Now I added the frickin'. But that's pretty much what he says. And then he said basically that you have to understand, man, the organizational side of it is where he said he faltered. He said no other coach in the country outworked me in 6 years. Nobody's going to stay watching more film than me. Nobody's going to out X's and O me. Calm down, Penny. Damn. It was the other side of it. It was the side of just running the program. That's something I had to get better. I've gotten better, and now I'm ready to roll. But basically, you know what he did? He threw his other guys on the bus. And I'm going to tell you right now, his son Ashton was on the team. I don't really probably think it was Ashton. Caleb Mills was awesome, got injured. He was the guy who kind of held the glue. I'm looking at you, Javon Quinterly. I'm looking at you, Malcolm Dandridge. And I can't blame Naquan Tomlin either, but he came over and he busted his ass, but it seemed like nobody liked him. Malcolm didn't.
Yeah, it seemed like nobody liked them.
I mean, damn, bro. So this Memphis team, they are put together totally different. They have talent. They have a more defensive-minded group. They play – I mean, this team plays like their coach, I believe, Penny Hardaway wants them to. They are dogs on defense. He also said that they have high character. He said he went out this year and looked for people who had high character, who loved the city of Memphis and what it represents with basketball. And he said he brought those type of people. He said we definitely strategically went after every player in the offseason. Now, he was talking about how he wanted to get everybody in before June. Well,
He did that, right?
And he did. I didn't realize necessarily, though, he was out there not just like trying to grab the best, most talented, the star. He said that they called him and the coaches called their friends, their girlfriends, their grandmother, their former coaches, their teammates, and found out realistically what kind of character player that they brought into this bad boy.
Stay used to do it back in the day.
Man, I love it. And by the way, I don't know if you know this. Look at the team they've put together. Like, who on the team right now, you asked me yesterday who my favorite player was on the whole team. You told me I could only pick one. And the only reason I'm picking him is because, well, statistically, he's the best player on the team. P.J. Haggerty, averaging 22.1 points per game. Did you know he's also the leading rebounder, averaging 6.3? Then you got my boy Tyrese Hunter, averaging 4 assists a game, 1.5 steals a game. and Musa has 1.5 blocks per game. I love country star Colby Rogers raining it from downtown. Tyrese Hunter is just a dog. Nick Jourdain does all the little things. And by the way, Nick Jourdain's the only dude from last year's team that's still on this team. He cut out all the cancer. Dane Danger's come in, and when he came from Illinois, I didn't think he was going to be a good fit.
Fits right in.
I thought he was going to be about more like who's big homie that came from the Louisiana little school and quit like 5 games in last year.
Yeah, that wasn't Tomlin. That was the
No,
big man.
he was the other
yeah,
one.
the big man. The player. He was actually player of the year or something like that in that other small conference.
Raging
Yeah.
Cajuns. And then he didn't like, we're bringing in Naquan Tomlin. But I love this whole team. P.J. Carter, I didn't know he was going to be a killer like he was in the overtime game against UConn. Gotta say, it is not a deep team. But if you believe, and you believe in your coach, and you go fight for the name on the front of your jersey, positive things can happen. And that's what it feels like Penny's got going on right now. So, yay, hallelujah, cannot wait. Tigers, they're chilling a little bit. Their next game is tomorrow. It's not a good team. It's La Tech. Then they have a little easy one on the 8th against Arkansas State. And then things get interesting when they go to Clemson on the 14th. I brought up Clemson today. They're playing Kentucky. Kentucky's only a 1.5 point favorite over Clemson. Mississippi State's been playing damn good basketball. They played Saturday, December 24th at our crib. And then on the 28th, it's followed back up by the Ole Miss Rebels.
Jordan Brown.
Jordan Brown. What can Brown Frown do for you? Nothing. What can the Browns do on the football field? Nothing. Brown, Brown, Brown. Thank God he's gone. But we got NFL talk on the other side, and it's Tito's. The best part of waking up is Tito's in your cup. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporty luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The holidays are near, and Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Generators is here to make this season extra cozy and cheerful. For the first 50 customers who purchase a new Carrier system, tankless water heater, or a whole home generator, we have a special gift for you. Choose from a $500 gift card or 60 months no interest financing. And don't forget about Choate's Refer a Friend referral program, where you can earn up to $500. Simply refer a friend to use our services, and if they become a customer, you could earn up to a $500 Visa gift card. But hurry, this festive offer will only last through December 20th. Visit ChoatesHVAC.com or call 347-8086 to schedule your free estimate today. And turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family this holiday season.
Original sports station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis.
That was one of those things. When things get too heavy, it's going to make you.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Do you love Mexican food?
Absolutely. That's what I'm getting for lunch today.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm surprised I can't speak Spanish. It's just BS. You would think like from like osmosis, just being around every single, it's probably 3-4 days a week. I go to at least 3 or 4 days a week. In fact, this week, let's see, it's only Tuesday. If you say that the week starts on Sunday, I've already had Mexican twice because it's so good. And if you want to know where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth, well, listen up. It's Los Cabos, right there on Summer next to Graham. They have lunch specials, 10 to 3, happy hour, 3 to 8. Lunch starts at just $6.99. And goes all the way to $10.99. Margaritas during happy hour, $3.99. $3.99. I bought a thing of balloons the other day, like just a package. Like it was like $6.
It made you think about tequila?
No, it made me think to myself, why do I need to get somebody balloons for their damn birthday and like put up stupid things, man? I'm buy just here's more money. $6 for like 12 balloons. What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? But you can go right over there near Summer and Graham to the Beck's Mexican Bar and Grill. They got TVs everywhere at their bar. And you can watch all the big games. Los Cabos, where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. And also, did you know the other little secret?
Oh, they got more secrets?
Super premium shots of tequila, only $7.
When things get too heavy, call me helium.
Call me Don Julio. Don.
You don't be putting the bottles on your head.
Julio.
You don't be putting the bottles on your head, right?
Nah, bro.
Okay, good.
Nah, they used to put fruit on women's head and they would dress topless. What was that called?
Cancun.
No, man, or maybe they weren't topless. I think it was the Tropicana girl.
Late summer night in Miami.
By the way, speaking of Miami, did you see my boy Jazz Chisholm Jr.? People are freaking out. Did you see any of this?
Oh, what did he do?
Okay, so you know that the Yankees lost the World Series, right?
Yep, to Jazz. Well, Jazz
To
on their
who?
team. Yeah, Jazz was on their team.
Jazz and the Yankees. Yeah, Jazz was tearing it up. Jazz plays good. Jazz was filling in for third base, and they had no production from third base all season, man. But yet the Yankees lost to the Dodgers. Well, I have to tell you, I think Jazz Chisholm is holding himself up pretty high. Because there were a lot of pictures for some. And by the way, like, why you want to take pictures of famous people doing bad stuff and put it all over the internet? You know what I mean?
It's called clout, John.
Man, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that everybody's got a damn camera.
It gets chased often.
And then they upload your BS. I guess we wouldn't know what Karens are, though, without these new videotapes. Every day I see like 3,000.
It's a lot we wouldn't know without the internet and those damn videos and photos.
And now I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. So Jazz is in Miami. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, Miami's a dope town. Ocean Drive. I can't wait to go back to Miami. Miriam, I hope you're listening. Well, I love Miami. Jazz does too. And when you're in Miami, I don't know if you know this, man. If you hadn't been, it's pretty open. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yep.
Like, you can drink like a fish. There's clubs and parties and bars. They have a swingers party.
Multiple.
SLS Club. Well, I'm talking about the creme de la creme.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, I went there. It was ridiculous.
All white party off up in that joint.
Man, there was a lot of white, I can tell you that much.
Little linen act.
I ain't talking about the color of people neither. Yay, yo. Plus, when you went in there, you had to buy an entire bottle of alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Like a whole bottle. You can't. They don't serve you drinks. You buy a whole bottle. What would you like?
Welcome to
Oh,
Miami.
you know what I'm getting, Tito's. $120.
Yep.
Cool. Well, what am I just drinking out of the bottle? Oh, no, out there they have tons of mixers. You just pour how much liquor you want. And when everybody's carrying a damn bottle, let me tell you something, that place gets a little out of hand. But Jazz is in Miami. He is chilling. He's smoking a fat joint and drinking. And people take a bunch of pictures of him and says, looks like Jazz doesn't care about the loss to the Dodgers. How can this still not sting? Well, he's drinking and smoking weed in Miami. You got to let go every once in a while.
Correct.
And I understand you're a fan, but my man's got to get his mind right. And the other thing I just wanted to say this, do you know what him smoking weed and drinking alcohol tells me about Jazz?
He's relaxing and has his medical card.
No, it just shows he's a normal adult.
Absolutely.
Because I don't trust people who don't drink or smoke or cuss. Now, those are three, like, hey, these are my 3 pet peeves. Oh, you don't cuss? You're not my friend. Oh, you don't drink? Well, we ain't going out together. And you don't smoke bud? Well, I don't want you to complain that my house stinks. But I like Jazz. He just now became one of my favorite baseball players. Now it's time to talk NFL. We've got to do our power rankings. And I didn't just do 1 to 5. I didn't go all through 32 because we got a lot of hapless teams. And I'm going to start off where I think the easiest place to start is. The number 1 team in football right now. They're going to be playing the Rams on the road out at SoFi. Last week, they curb stomped the 49ers, 35-10. They beat them into submission. San Francisco basically quit. And if they can somehow continue to win out and Kansas City drop a game, guess who would get home field advantage throughout the playoffs?
Cold Buffalo?
That'd be Buffalo, because guess who they beat this year?
Cincy.
Kansas City. Yep. So I got the Buffalo Bills right now because Josh Allen is a freak. He runs you over. James Cook will run around you, and it could be terrible weather, wind blowing, snow, and my man's throwing BBs. And when he hits you, by the way, it ain't like tackling Kyler Murray or even Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes or any of the running quarterbacks. He will run you over. You saw the linebacker on San Francisco. It was not Fred Warner, because I don't want to disrespect him like that because he's a bad man. I cannot remember which linebacker.
It was
but
probably
I know it wasn't
backup for
Fred.
Lenore. Lenore was out, so we had to back up.
He got run the bleep over, bro.
Like Roethlisberger back in the day.
Man, he just trucked him. So I got to say right now, Buffalo Bills defense is playing much better than I expected. Josh Allen is right now my front runner for the MVP.
Milano came back on that defense.
Finally, and guess what? The dude who's filling in gets just as much playing time still because he's a full-grown-ass man, and he's lighting people up.
Heard he was the leader of the locker room.
He's a leader of the locker room, and one of those dudes who plays downhill. You got to like this Buffalo team. I can't help it. I've never been a big... Do you like Sean McDermott?
He's all right. I thought he would have been fired by now, but obviously good call by the Bills brass.
I mean, I don't know what it is. For some reason, I've always just... I think it's... certain people... This is so wrong to say, but we do make assumptions.
Yeah.
And you judge a lot of people just by their look. And he always has like a pouty face on the sideline.
Like your man Cutler.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh, that's a great example. And I just never really liked him, but damn, he's got this team playing in the right direction. Like, right direction. So, number 1, I have Buffalo. Y'all hit me up at the Sissy's Log Cabin text and listener line. Life's too short for ordinary jewelry. 901-360-8255. Tell me what you agree with, don't agree with. Tell me I'm crazy, whatever. Just tell me what you think. Bills 1. I think number 2, simple. How do you not say the Philadelphia Eagles? How do you not?
You can't have a running back that turns backwards and jumps over people.
Well, the one thing for me, it's not just Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and the Slim Reaper and Dallas and my boy A.J. Brown, because they've got weapons. It's not just the offensive line that's been gelling like madman. They still got the tush-push. I am most impressed with this young Philadelphia defense growing up throughout the season under Vic Fangio. I mean, the unit is, you can argue that they've been the best unit for, like, defensive unit for the whole season. Like, if you had to pick one defense right now, are you not take Vic Fangio in the Philadelphia Eagles? Jalen Carter's just mowing folks.
Either them or Minnesota, but you're on to something.
Man, Minnesota can still kiss my you-know-what. But Minnesota's defense is playing out of control because Minnesota just barely wins every week. And it's always the defense. And then Sam Darnold had a great drive last week. But number 1, Buffalo Bills. Number 2 is the 10-2 Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want to hear about, oh my God, your record says what your record says you are. How could you not have the Detroit Lions or the Kansas City Chiefs at 1 or 2? Because one thing I'm worried about is Detroit Lions playing this Thursday night against the Green Bay Packers, who looked really good last week. Jordan Love, when he gets going and doesn't turn the ball over, they're a damn good football team. They got wide receivers all over the place. And they just...
Multiple running backs, too.
Multiple. They play good. I like this Detroit team. But the Lions, they dominated the Bears in the first half, and then all of a sudden the Bears got Matt Eberflus fired because they came all the way back. Could have tied it and sent it to overtime. But Matt Eberflus does not understand how to work the last 36 seconds of a football game while he has a timeout. I can't put that on Caleb Williams, though, because it looked like he didn't know what the hell he was doing. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. But I do have the Lions right now at 3rd, and it's almost kind of scary for me to put them there.
That's a good spot. People still don't believe, man.
But they just keep getting injuries. They just keep getting nicked up. They're not getting healthy at the right time. I mean, they're piling up on defense. And I don't know if you noticed, Detroit plays pretty good defense, and if you keep losing dudes, that's going to be a different defense come playoff time. So that's why I have Detroit at number 3. After Detroit, who do you think it is?
Those boys from KC, Missouri?
It's got to be Patty. Patty Cake. Man, did you know Patty Cake was knocking boots in, who's Roger Rabbit? Hottest cartoon ever, Jessica Rabbit. 901-360-8255. 901-360-8255. Hottest cartoon ever.
And you only get 2 options, right? I mean, it's only Betty Boop and Jessica Rabbit. There's not like a 3rd or 4th, is it?
Okay, we'll do, what's the Rubbles?
Oh, you throw Wilma.
And Wilma. So then they're a team like Travis Hunter.
Okay, all right.
2 sevens.
Okay. I'm with you on that. Because you got to
Jessica
throw
Rabbit.
both. They don't wear socks or shoes. You got to throw them both together.
It's definitely Jessica Rabbit, though. But you can argue with me if you want. Now, again, the 4th team is Kansas City. Why? Dude, they barely beat the Raiders last week. They play the Chargers this week. Kansas City does keep winning, and your record does say somewhat like who you are. But, when is Pat going to look like Pat? Is he just going to wait till the playoffs? I mean, last year, the run they went on, going on the road to beat Buffalo, going on the road to beat Baltimore, manning up against San Francisco. But, man, you beat the Raiders by 2. You beat the Panthers by 3 the week before. You lost to the Bills by 9. You beat the Broncos late 16-14. I don't know if you know that these are not big, satisfying, comfortable Kansas City-style wins. Hell, they only beat the Bucs by 6, and they got lucky in that one.
And have you heard from DeAndre Hopkins lately?
Man, D-Hop, I know one thing. I'd use him a little bit more.
Because they're not using Xavier Worthy, which was supposed to be their ace in the hole. Hopkins not doing too much. Pacheco,
I mean, Hop has made, I think, a difference in the fact that he's somebody that Pat Mahomes trusts. I think he had
just as a straight-up one.
Yeah, I think he had 4 receptions for 90 yards last week. But damn, since he's been over there, it's not like he's just tearing the world up. 24 receptions on 33 targets, 296 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's all right. Again, this is a team that is all right. Problem is, I can't put them any lower because they are 11-1. And they have that dude, Pat Mahomes. They also have that coach and Andy Reid. And you know who's the defense coordinator? Spags. And he's great. Kansas City Chiefs at 4. You won't believe this. I got the number 5 team playing the number 3 team this week on Thursday night because coming in at number 5, I'm a believer in the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love was injured earlier in the year. He was turnover crazy at beginning of the year. They were kind of feeling themselves out. LaFleur, they're playing great football right now. And if they can beat the Lions Thursday night, everything Even a number 1 seed is in play. Philly could get knocked off. I'm just saying this is a huge game.
Especially
Thursday
for
night.
Detroit. I'm with you on that.
Detroit needs this one to hold on to that top spot and get that bye.
Because if they don't, they go to what, about 5, man? They drop down.
They can
and
drop down
yeah.
with a quickness.
Yep.
They could. And they got some tough games ahead of them. But I got Green Bay at number 5. So those are the top 5. I usually only do the top 5, but dadgummit, we getting close to the playoffs and stuff. Playoffs.
Got to break it down, Johnny.
Number 6, who do you think it is?
All right, so you gave me Green Bay already.
I got number 1, Buffalo. Number 2, Philadelphia. Number 3, Detroit. Number 4, Kansas City. Number 5, Green Bay. Who do I got at number 6? Who that? Who you think, man?
Seattle.
Hell no.
Not Seattle.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, I forgot. Yeah, you hadn't got to the Steelers yet.
Dude, they outlasted the Bengals. They put up 44 points.
It feels like they
week.
would have been higher. That's why. They don't feel like the number 6 or 7-ish.
Man, will you take one out and put Pittsburgh in? I mean, are you
can't.
putting Pittsburgh over Green Bay when they got Jordan Love? I can't.
Nope, you can't.
So I got number 6, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and one is because Mike Tomlin is ridiculous. I told you about Carl Pickens' little kid, George Pickens, out of Georgia, catching moon balls like a madman. Russell Wilson went over 400 yards last Sunday. And listen, this is a dangerous, quote, second-tier team because they do play complimentary football.
And I think on top of that, even if they went to their backup, they got confidence, dude. Even if Russ goes down, I think they keep trucking.
Man, I think the offense is totally different under Justin Fields, but again, he is a he's a good backup quarterback in the National Football League when you look around at all the jobs that are open right now. Number 7, I got to put Minnesota up there. I mean, they continue to find ways to win. They're close games and everything. Sam Darnold last week led a terrific game-winning drive. I'd like to see him blow somebody out this year, but that defense is solid. And they do have that dude, Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison's also a freak, too.
Naylor's there. He comes in the clutch every now and again. So, yeah.
They play the the Falcons this week in the Desperation Bowl. Kirk Cousins threw 4 interceptions last week.
Oh, man, Kirk.
I remember when I had Atlanta in my top 10. So, number 7 is the Minnesota Vikings. Who do you think you put at number 8? It's got to be the Ravens, right? Because they still have LaMarvelous. They still have Derrick Henry.
I like that. You call him LaMarvelous. The first time I've heard that one.
Because, I used to say he can't throw and play quarterback in the National Football League. I did that for like a whole season. Dude's already got 2 MVPs and is playing like a madman.
LaMarvelous. I dig it.
LaMarvelous.
Now, you have it. They're 8-5.
They're 8. The problem, but I'm just saying, who else are you going to put in front of them?
Right now, I think you could probably say you could put the Broncos in front of them.
8-5. 8-5. Both teams 8-5. The only difference for me is a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix versus a 2-time MVP. That is the absolute tiebreaker between the 8th team and the 9th team, who is the Denver Broncos. We saw it last night. And guess what? Denver's hopping on a bye right now. So Bo Nix is learning.
Did you say Broncos at 9 now?
I got the Broncos number 9 behind Baltimore. You were close. I just put over. I'm taking Lamar over Bo Nix early in his career. And don't forget, John Harbaugh's a really damn good coach. And the only thing that's kind of freaking me out is Justin Tucker going to kill him? Like, is it in his head? Does he have the yips?
Sooner or later. Now, 10 is going to scare me because you're either going to not put a division-leading team in there or a third team from a division. So, what do you got?
This one was hard.
It should be because there's a beef coming either way.
I put the Chargers.
The Chargers. So, you put them over the 8-5 AFC-leading Texans.
Yes. Man, the Texans right now got more issues with their offensive line. They are terrible.
And
terrible.
Could have put the Chargers ahead of both the Broncos and the Ravens at 8-4.
Hell no.
They just went on the road and beat a 4-interception
They
Kirk.
just lost Ladd McConkey. They don't have tons of weapons. Now, if they beat the Chiefs this week
in Kansas City,
well, you will see me start to move the Chargers up. But right now, those are your top 10 teams in the National Football League. And the crazy thing is if you go go down the list after that, I wouldn't even know where to rank right now.
Well, 11 is easy.
Who?
That's the Texans. You got to give it to them.
Man, I would take Washington right now over the Texans. Let me tell you something. The Commanders, they had a little bad stretch right there. They had 3 straight losses. They got their vibe back last week. The Titans help you get your vibe back. They scored 42 points.
Help you get your vibe back.
And they smoked them. And let's also not forget the Commandos. They have a bye this week as well. So that'll help them feel good, beating the crap out of the Titans, kind of go getting healthy, bringing on, Jaden Daniels a little bit farther and Scary Terry. They're a good football team. But, after that, man, you start to think to yourself, Seattle's 7-5. Cardinals are 6-6. Hell, the Bucks are 6-6. And the NFL playoffs is just looking buck wild right now. I went through the AFC in the very first segment of the day. We talked about the teams that have already locked it up. You got Kansas City, Buffalo, locked and loaded. They have this jaunt. Pittsburgh Steelers, Houston Texans, they're both leading their divisions. The Chargers are right there. The Ravens are right there. And the Denver Broncos are right there. I feel like the 7 playoff teams in the AFC are going to be those 7 teams. I don't see Indianapolis at 6-7 all of a sudden becoming great. Whew. Now, NFC, man. Lions are 11-1. Eagles 10-2. And this is where it gets weird. You know the 3 and 4 spots, who would they be because they're the division leaders?
Who you got for that?
Seattle right now. Hopefully it's the Cardinals. And then you got the lowly Falcons at 6-6. Behind them in the wild card games, you got the Minnesota Vikings at 10-2. The Green Bay Packers at 9-3. And then, of course, the Commanders, the Redskins, the Washington Commandos, 8-5.
I got some future bits up in there.
I will say, though, Tampa's at 6-6. They could steal that one from the Falcons. Arizona's 6-6. They could steal it from the Seattle Seahawks. And the Rams, who are still at 6-6, could also steal it from the Seahawks or Arizona Cardinals. Sorry, 49ers.
I know, man.
You 5-7, and you just ain't got it. This year, you will not be going to the playoffs. But the NFC picture is a lot different than the AFC. But, man, we got good football still going. And don't forget, it all starts Thursday night. Green Bay Packers head to Detroit, face the Lions. And with that defense as nicked up as it is, I love the Packers. I think Jordan Love is going to spin that jaunt all over the place.
Detroit may have something to say to you about that.
Yeah,
Napoleon, don't be jealous that I've been chatting online with babes.
It's Detroit.
That is Detroit, baby. That is Detroit. Man, we got to take a quick time out because I got to explain something. This is very, very important. On the other side, I've got so many funny stories. It's loosely based around sports, so don't touch that dial. See you in 2 shakes, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday is happy hour from 3 to 6. $1 off all draft meals, $5 off meal drinks, $4.50 for house wine, mozzarella sticks, queso, corn dogs, and more. Friday night lights from 7 to 11. Dine in and buy your own wings, they buy Raider wings for free. Watch college football at every pro game. All of the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland. Highway 70, fall is football.
Hi, it's the Herd. For over 130 years, Stifel's been investing in the success of their clients. That means more than just building portfolios. It means Stifel's invested in you and your future financial success, and it means taking a personalized approach to managing your hard-earned wealth. While success might look different to everybody, it always takes the same spirit, and it's that spirit that drives Stifel. Founded in 1890, Stifel's a global wealth management firm and investment bank. It's what makes Stifel the #1 wealth management firm for employee advisor satisfaction, one of the fastest growing firms in America. Stifel, where success meets success. STIFEL.com. Visit it today. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
The holidays are almost here again, and whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's, I've sold homes on all of them and even more. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensworth Realtors, and find that many people do move during this time of year. Being involved with a major relocation network, we see a lot of people moving into the Memphis area as the holiday season doesn't stop them, nor does it stop people who are just now beginning to start their home search. A couple of things you should remember. Waiting until spring when the azaleas bloom, so do the real estate signs, which means more competition. Before you list your home with someone, you should always talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and just make sure that I am one of them. Find out why they say that when you want the job done, call Sheldon. And yes, I may be the worst golfer in town, but I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that gets it done. Call or email me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's Shell Dunn at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a two-step-in Tuesday. I'm going to tell you a little something. You know, you could do something really nice for maybe your wife, your grandmother, your family. Right now over at Rick's Powder Coating. And by the way, don't paint powder coat. It's freaking science, man. Stuff doesn't rust. It lasts forever. Doesn't chip. It's amazing. Painting. Who's out there painting stuff? Psh, child, please. But right now, all the way up until December 31st over at Rick's Powder Coating, you bring your table, 4 chairs, and you get your umbrella stand powder coated absolutely free. It could be 50 years old and it will look brand spanking new when you get it back. Don't paint powder coat. And remember, Rick's Powder Coating, reasonably priced, quick turnaround. They fully satisfy you with the finished product. And they do industrial, automotive, motorcycle, ornamental iron. If it's iron, it can be powder coated. Rick's Powder Coating for a perfect finish every time. There's only one place to look, and that's Rick's. Go to rickspowdercoating.com or give them a call at 901-367-2771. That's 901-367-2771. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Man, there's so many crazy things going on in the world, you know what I mean? Like, I saw where 2 men were arrested. This would have been hilarious. It is funny because we know about it. Never would have thought to do this. But remember the Texas A&M Texas game last week? Ticket prices were astronomical. Everybody and their grandmother wanted to be at that game. And 2 guys said, you know what? We're not going to pay these outlandish tickets. So they went down the street and brought some basically costumes. They dressed up as construction contractors. Had a hat on, had all the media stuff. And by the way, it was funny, they got in. They even went down on the field. Problem is when they went down on the field and somebody asked to see their credentials.
Uh-oh.
I mean, they had like reflective vests on. They had hard hats. They got into the stadium. They had fake credentials. But the funny thing is what they named themselves. One man's name tag was Harry Azcrack, A-Z-C-R-A-C. That's pretty fun. Obviously, you know it's a pun for Harry, you know what. The other guy had a different name.
John Harden is one of the best sports personalities there is. Just amazing. He might smoke a little too much herb, but that's okay. I respect him.
I'm trying to get it. It's being weird.
It's the Donald. It's okay. I love Donald. So you had Harry Asscrack and Duncan McCockney. Well, they got arrested. 2 Texas A&M police officers over the weekend, when they were down on the field, came over there and asked for their credentials. When one of the Texas A&M police officers noticed Harry Ascrack and Duncan McCockney. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't even look at this. Duncan McCockner. Whoa. I need to look closer.
Duncan.
Harry Ascrack, Duncan McCockner. They got arrested.
No more McLovins, I see.
Yep, they got arrested over the weekend. And I have to say, it didn't matter. I mean, your team, Texas A&M, lost 17-7, so you didn't miss too much. But, like, that's a pretty, like, if they would have just put, like,
Larry Armstrong and just, you know,
Billy McFarland.
Billy Sniper, you know,
anything normal. They would have gotten the game for free.
Like Seymour Butts.
But, man, why do you think, like, construction workers, like, that's the thing about, if they didn't go down on the field once they got in the game, if they would have stayed in the stands, even with Harry Ascrack and Duncan McCockner, they would have been fine. But they had to go down on the field.
Got to test those limits. We got in, man. You got to test those limits.
And, like, I don't know, man. You notice that they're police down on the field, so it didn't work for them. But I thought it was absolutely... I thought it was I thought it was great.
Those names are awesome.
They were wonderful. Now, I like Charles Barkley, right? You like Charles Barkley, right?
Oh, man, we love Charles Barkley. How about Charles Barkley?
Man, I'm trying to think.
Terrible.
That's terrible.
Oh, terrible.
Shaq, that's just terrible.
Guarantee. That's what he say. He yelled guarantee.
I like how he calls out people. I like Charles Barkley a lot. But when I heard this yesterday, it was on the Stream Room podcast. That's basically the Inside the NBA with Charles Barkley. Ernie Johnson hosted. Well, Mark Cuban was their guest. And you know that I think Mark Cuban is 2 people.
Why you say that?
Because I think Mark Cuban's Mark Cuban, and then I think he dresses up as a girl and plays Rachel Maddow on MSNBC. Don't they look just alike?
Gotta look that up. What's her name?
Rachel Maddow. Ugliest woman on television. Also the dumbest woman on television. Oh, no, that's Joy Reid. I don't know why I sometimes turn on MSNBC. I think it's just because I need to throw
Rachel
up.
Maddow?
Yeah, does she not look like a dude? Dude, you 100% you would think that's a dude, right? Like, I feel bad for her. I think she should transition and just call herself a dude and name herself Rick Maddow. Because she don't look like no Rachel. She looks like an ugly Mark Cuban. But the thing is I love Charles Barkley. And on the podcast yesterday, Charles Barkley said that he'd be interesting to run for president of the United States with Mark Cuban on the ticket. Cuban and Barkley.
All right, so now, because I was thinking just Barkley by himself.
Mark Cuban's dumbass, here's what he said. Yes, absolutely. We would win the race running away. No question about it. Why? Because Mark Cuban is the dumbest person I've ever listened to in my life. I watched him get trashed by Musk one day. He was absolutely, like, dude smoked him like a crack pipe when Tyrone Biggums is in town.
But people still love him on that
I hate Mark Cuban.
They love him on that
I'd
Shark
punch him in the face right now. And then I'd sue him for hurting my damn fingers for a little money. Be like, he, with his ugly Rachel Maddow looking face, broke my pinky.
Those Shark Tank people, though, John, it's a lot of them.
And by the way, I don't know if you know this, the dumbest person who was out there, like, stomping for Kamala Harris was Mark Cuban. And he definitely didn't do a good job. And I mean, billionaires talking about how the economy's really good right now and I don't feel any inflation. Well, no crap, bro. Like, pocket change for you is like $50K.
I was going to say $300K, but hey.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm talking about walking around stripper money.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, I don't like Mark Cuban. I love Charles Barkley. Charles, please don't ever say that you would be on the same ticket with Rachel Maddow.
I think he already did.
I mean, he did it, but don't do that again. And no offense, didn't you say you weren't a role model, Chuck?
That was in like 94.
I don't give a damn. Do you think he's now a role model?
Yes, he is. He's a fat role model.
Dude, he don't know his head from his ass.
That's why he's running.
You think anybody that ever played basketball for Auburn deserve to be president of the United States? I don't think so.
No, but do you think any politicians know their head from their arse?
Neither one of those dudes are politicians. They're both, I mean, listen, I'll give you Mark Cuban's a billionaire piece of crap. But Chuck is somebody that I love.
Still eats King Cotton hot dogs.
I love Charles Barkley. Don't do something like that. And that kind of leads me into the next weird story. How come I can't, Dad? How come you didn't become president of the United States, bro? You've let me down. Did you see what Joe Biden did for Hunter Biden?
Yeah, you play Uno? Have you ever played Uno before?
Yeah, it's like a card game.
Yeah, the card game.
Yeah.
That's what Biden did. He put down the reverse card when he lied to America and said he wouldn't get involved.
Of course he was lying.
He put the reverse down.
I said this the whole time. He's lying because when push comes to shove, I don't know a single man out there who would not do what they had to do for their kids.
Now, the one thing I will say, most smart presidents that do the pardons, they do it on their last day.
Very last day.
So that was kind of strange.
Well, I don't know if you know this. Biden's is probably the dumbest person that's ever entered the White House other than Hunter Biden.
That's dumb. You know.
I mean, Jill, can you keep your husband walking in the right direction and stop from falling?
All he had to do is wait till the last day and he wouldn't get any heat. No presidents get heat. I mean, it becomes news who they pardon on their last day, but they don't take crap from it.
But this is crazy, though. He didn't get a pardon. Like, they didn't pardon him. It's the most... I actually was fascinated by this. I had to actually turn it on one of those damn TV shows. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah, you had to get you got to get your
get
Hannity on. You had to get your Hannity on.
Hannity, little, who's that little Cooper boy, Anderson. I had to figure out what was going on with this situation. And then I looked at it and I found out, basically, that it's the most crazy pardon in presidential history. The only one that's even similar was when Harold. What up, Harold Ford? I love that dude, by the way.
Harold Ford Jr. was on Fox. He was on Fox News, man, with Hannity.
Dude, I like Harold Ford. He could run for president, damn it. He would have done a lot better than that crazy woman. But, and plus, you know, he's Memphis, Tennessee. So I like Harold. But Hunter, and by the way, this is 7 weeks before Biden leaves office. So again, that's why he's getting, you know, a little bit of BS. But the charges that Biden, his son, was facing was up to 17 years in prison for the gun. You had the whole not paying taxes. He didn't pay taxes for 4 years. 4 years. Well, he didn't just pardon him. He pardoned him for everything that he might have done between January 1st, 2014. And guess what? December, the last day. What's the last day of this dude's office? When do they actually take the office?
Ooh, I don't know.
Is it January?
It is in January. I know that. Like the 15th-ish, something like that.
So he January 1, 2014, all the way to January 2025. Everything. You know now the coke was his in the White House. I thought it was Kamala Harris's.
January 20.
January 20th. So from January 1, 2014 till January 20th, 2025, anything that he's done, he gets pardoned for. And I mean, I'm talking about this guy's picture. I don't understand Hunter Biden. Who took pictures of themselves naked doing drugs and committing crimes more than Hunter Biden? Nobody. That dude was always smoking crack and videotaping himself with prostitutes. Like, that is just weird. Like, if I was a prostitute, I'd be like, hey, bro, can you put your camera up? Can you put the crack pipe down? Man, your fingers are burnt and your lips look terrible. But that is if you're Hunter Biden, man, you got to be thinking to yourself, dude, he must have known this forever because he looked like he wasn't sweating nothing. He was out in Disneyland last week before this news came down. But that's just crazy. And again, I'm going to tell you right now, if I had power, no matter what, I would do anything I could to use it for my children. So I 100% understand it. It was the scope of the pardon that I found, holy moly. So any anything he did through an 11-year period, you Gucci. And I mean, the statute of limitations almost everything by 11 years runs out. So basically, he's pardoned him for his whole damn life. But you can't take away that he went and slept with his sister's, his dead brother's wife, had a baby with her. That's weird. Knocked up a stripper in Arkansas and pretends that he doesn't have a kid. I mean, they're just weird, bro. But you know what? I would say that Cuban and Barkley wouldn't be much weirder, actually, than them. Now I got to tell you this. This is also just one of those things where you kind of shake your head. Like, there's a reporter that was at the Miami-Syracuse game. And I don't know, man. Like, this is kind of like annoying to me. So, the Miami mascot is named Sebastian. The Hurricanes lost to Syracuse 42-38. It was a brutal loss. They just shot themselves. They can't go to the college football playoff. It's OV, dog. But after the game, a CNY Central sports anchor, Ashley Winikowski, posted, Sebastian just kneeled down and asked for my number mid-drive. Feel like he has bigger things to worry about with his team on the ropes in the fourth quarter at the Dome. But who am I to say? And then everybody started going off on Sebastian the mascot. Dude, he asked the woman for digits. He didn't cop a feel. Are you not allowed to ask for if he asked you for your Snapchat, I guess that would have been better. And by the way, I didn't even know this. Did you know that young people don't even give their number out anymore? They give their Snapchat.
They give their social media whatever.
Man, that's insane.
No phone numbers, yeah.
I don't like social media. I will
instead of you saying call me, they say look me up or whatever they say. Yeah.
Snap me.
Snap me.
Dude, that seems like that would be more dangerous because then you could send those nudies and next thing you know, you got a little proof or somehow I think they disappear. Yeah. I don't know.
Al Bundy says at the nudie bar.
But dude, why would this reporter put that out? Because now, as they were crucifying Sebastian and calling him a dirty mascot, I'm crucifying her and calling attention to herself. Is it the first time a man asked you for digits? Like what? And by the way, I looked her up. She ain't even cute. I know he's what is Sebastian exactly? A duck? They're a hurricane.
Some kind of mammal.
He looks like a duck, right?
Some kind of mammal.
I don't know, man.
Amphibian, I guess.
That's just weird. Like, bro, I don't know if you know, but the mascot hit on me. Don't you feel like she had to be trying to get some clicks?
Clout, John. That's what they're there for. Clout.
Clout chasers.
Oh yeah.
Clout chasers. The mascot ain't all that big. Acting like you're offended that somebody asked you for your number.
How dare you?
Did you know Chris Jones? He put it all on display. He's a different character. For some reason, Chris Jones, who's one of the best defensive tackle in all of football, put out a little cute video about how big guys can jig. He's doing something called Fox's The Real Full Monty. It's a special that's going to be on December 9th. And right now, the 3-time Super Bowl winner is one of the, I guess, bigger celebrities in this bad boy. But it looks like, what are the dudes that wore construction hats and hard hats and were gay and sang?
The Village People.
The Village People.
YMCA.
That's it. You got Chris Jones looking like he's a village person.
Hey, young man.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't even know who the other people are. Anthony Anderson, James Vanderburg.
Anthony Anderson, that's a comedian. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, dude. Actually, he's kind of fat.
Yeah, got the gap teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny.
Who else you got?
Oh, Taye Diggs. Is that the male actor that all the women love?
Sexy guy. Yeah.
How do you get bald and be sexy? Jason, what is it, Statham?
Yeah, I guess you can put Statham in there.
Remember, he slept with Jay Cutler's wife, Christy Cavallari.
Did he?
Yeah, remember I brought it up? Yeah.
Michael Jordan, my aunt still has a crush on him.
On MJ?
Yeah, my aunt says Michael.
She
is
likes hoops.
Sexy, bald-head man.
He walks like the goofiest person I've ever seen. Did you notice it walk? When he walks, his head goes bouncing back and forth. His arms like this. He has a funny walk. He doesn't have a funny walk as PJ Haggerty. That boy's knees are so knocked. His hair looks just like Sideshow Bob. But damn, that boy can hoop. So can Michael. Now, you need to get away. If you need to get away today because you just need a damn break, how about Getaway Sports Bar? Getaway Sports Bar has the coldest beer in town. They also have 6 pool tables. You want to rack them and crack them? Head on over there. You want to play darts? They got 2 dartboards. They also have golden tea. They have TVs everywhere. How do I get to Getaway? It's simple, man. Just head over to 4632 Winchester Road. 4632 Winchester Road. They always open. They always ready to serve you. They always friendly. And they got great bar grub. Bar grub, TVs everywhere, pool tables, dartboards, golden tea. What more do you need? I say nothing, sir. So when it's time to get away to Getaway Sports Bar. Back in 2 shakes. We got to bet on something. Got to make that money, man. Santa Claus coming down the chimney soon. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
John Harden is one of the best sports talk personalities there is. Just amazing. He might smoke a little too much herb, but that's okay. I respect him.
Start your day with Sports 56 mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. There's no gift that's more beautiful, more versatile, and more meaningful than being the face of the
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's time to do a little bit of gambling, man. We're going to gamble on something, but I do have to tell you before we start gambling, I got a text during the break from a friend of mine, and it's funny. I don't know what's going on necessarily here. Have you seen Serena Williams lately?
Yeah, she looks a little weird.
She looks trashed.
There you go.
I mean, it's okay to get trashed. I mean, Jazz Chisholm, I'm taking up for him. But it really wasn't necessarily the fact that she just looked like she was out of her mind. She had to come out and say, and no, for you haters out there, I do not bleach my skin. Because people were saying that she was going Michael Jackson up on her. She said, there is a thing called sunlight. And in the sunlight, you get different colors. True that. True that.
Still look weird.
She said, I am dark, black woman, and I love who I am and how I look. I get you, boo. But you have to admit, the video I just watched, your face.
You know who she's coming
Dude,
like?
let's be real. Who has I got a darker shade than she does in this picture.
Yeah, she coming like Sammy Sosa. You remember your boy Sammy?
Oh, my God.
There you go. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her.
That is such a good comparison.
Look at her. Look at her. Sammy.
Don't do it, people. Don't do it. But here's what you need to do. It's time for you to make some bets. Make some bets. Make some bets. And I always tell you, don't bet on the NBA till Christmas Day. Breaking the rule, baby. The NBA Cup is tonight. After you told me the Grizzlies actually won one game, I was saying definitely take the Mavericks minus the 3.5. But I have jumped off of that, and I found one I like. You know who plays the New York Knicks tonight, Mr. Darian?
What you got?
You get the Orlando Magic. They're tied at the top of the Group A conference at 3-0. They have a 60-point differential ease. So if they win, they in. If they lose, though, they still have a very, very, very good shot at advancing as a wild card team. On the other side, you have the Knicks. They have to win in order to advance.
So you understand this thing?
Yeah, their point differential is totally off right now. By the way, Boston's way ahead of them.
Okay.
So I'm going to expect a buck wild crowd at MSG. Buck wild. And by the way, you know the Knicks are 6-2 at the crib this year. They just dominated New Orleans, but again, everybody dominates New Orleans. I think Mikal Bridges is going to go off. They've been hitting threes. You know my man Jalen Brunson is the real deal. Holyfield. I'm saying they get buck tonight all over Orlando. And you know who Orlando is missing?
The good player?
Paolo Banchero.
Escape me for a minute, old Paolo.
Paolo, he out tonight, baby. But they do have Franz Wagner. Hans
Have
and
both. They
Franz.
have both Wagner brothers.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
You think they ever get in fights on road trips?
No, they actually live together. I read something that they are the best buds and brothers that money can buy. They live together.
We're the two best friends that anyone ever had.
Yes,
The two best friends that anyone ever had. But I think the Knicks get bucked tonight. Lay the 4.5. I think the Knicks blow out the Magic. The Knicks need this. Magic necessarily don't. That's at 6:30 on the TNT.
Moritz Wagner. That's the other.
We got college basketball as well. Yep. And I like watching college basketball. Watching when totals don't adjust or they overinflate. One thing, if you remember, if two teams come out and say they have a total of like 135 and they score like 25 points in the first 5 minutes and that thing shoots to like 147, go under because they're going to regress to the mean. It's also like if it's like 155 and all of a sudden nobody can hit a shot the first 4 minutes and it drops down to like 147, go over. But just in the front side, looking at the college basketball, I love Tennessee. I just am thinking to myself, 21.5 points freaks me out. Because do you remember when I came on air, they were only an 18.5 point favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Over 82% of the money right now is coming in hard for Tennessee. I don't like the adjusted total at 21. So I'm going to head on down and I'm going to look at this wonderful team called the Kentucky Wildcats. I'm taking Clemson because they play Memphis, and I need Clemson to beat a top 5 team in the country, and Kentucky's 4. Let's go Clemson plus 1.5. Get out there, make the world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Benswinger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Benswinger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Benswinger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit BenswingerGlass.com. Benswinger Glass.
What makes the the holiday special are the details from Genesis. And every little detail in a Genesis is another gift to you, like an available heated steering wheel during winter. That's a gift you'll love, or the available Napa leather seating. And how about a $1,000 bonus on select Genesis vehicles? The deal ends January 2nd. See participating Genesis retailers for details. Experience the Genesis signature event. Visit Genesis.com to see how Genesis can make your holidays even brighter. Details make the holidays.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? We have it covered at Humdingers. It's quick, it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. Many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdingers, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdingers offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your